We live.
All right, Shalom, Shalom Akim. First of all, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua.
Love, honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim out there pushing his word and truth sincerity. All right, so we live after camp, doing a live show, and through the Spirit of the Lord, Elder Apostle Tahar, he named this year, through the Spirit, the year of prophecy. Okay, because a lot of prophecies are going to start coming to pass, and we believe that through the Spirit. All right, you have all these different signs that are coming. Signs of the times, the different rumors of wars. The Confederate armies that were once at league with America are now, we're starting to see a detachment from there. That the beast system, Esau's starting to push his transhumanism. He's starting to push his mark the beast system. All right, so he's going to come in like a great flood very soon. Brother had a scripture. Go ahead, bring it out.
It's Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, who seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy.
Yeah, be occupied in prophecy. And the wisdom of the ancient are our forefathers written in the scriptures. From all our forefathers that were the prophets, elders, okay, the apostles, okay. And through the Spirit, Lord's will, we be those men. We are the same men in the reincarnation. So we're coming back in our lot, doing the same thing that we were doing from the beginning of time. Because that's how the Most High, he always spoke to the world, okay, to all the nations, to our nation, through the service of prophets. All right, and we are meditating on these precepts, which is the spirit of prophecy, which is Yahweh Shai. And that's what the doctrine is all about. All right, it's about Yahweh Shai, which is prophecy. All these other pseudo-Israelite groups, the Christian church, they don't bring out any prophecy, man. All they talk about is love. All they talk about is love your neighbor or pay tithes. But they don't tell you what's going to befall America. They don't tell you what's going to befall things in this world. Okay.
This is Revelation 22, and I started 8. And I John saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. Then saith he unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book.
Yes, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Because now the book in the end times, the seals are being broken. Yahweh Shai, he broke those seals, and now that knowledge is being increased. And now we have the prophecies. Now the prophecies have been broken down. All right, none of the prophecies are hidden from us now. All right, they're out on the forefront. Okay, and then we're prophesying, pretty much saying before, things are going to happen, and we're proclaiming this to the whole world, so the whole world can see. Because this gospel is going to be preached to the whole four corners of the earth, and then the end is going to come. So now you're starting to see the end come ever since the prophets have been out on the street corners.
And he saith unto me, Seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand.
For the time is at hand. Okay. The time. What is the time that's at hand? The time is at hand to get right, to come back to the Lord. Okay. All right. To start following the law, statutes, commandments, to be built up in the spirit. All right. The scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Okay. So the wisdom and knowledge is getting this understanding why the Lord he may be found. All right. The scriptures say, seek the Lord while he may be found. All right. And he's found right now in the congregation of the elect. Okay. In the church. Okay. With the flock. And what the flock means with the men. All right. All right. So you're looking at the counsel of Yahweh Shai. And we believe that wholeheartedly. All right, because we're coming out of the scriptures, we're breaking the scriptures right the correct way, following down from our apostles and elders. Okay, the spirit is definitely on other. You can see the spirit on brothers. Okay, to come out here and push this word. All right, because these people in the world, they don't have the spirit to push this word. Okay, ultimately they weren't given a spirit. If they were given a spirit, they would be out here doing what we are doing.
And they're not going into the prophecies.
Yeah.
Especially these Christian groups, they're not good touching it, man. Even when they do try to touch it, they mangle it. They try to go into Ezekiel 37th chapter and they don't see, look, that shows that there has to be a two-state solution. It's just completely going off, man. They won't touch the resurrection of the children of Israel, them coming back to the knowledge of who they are in the last days. They won't deal with Babylon the Great being destroyed. They definitely don't want to deal with who Esau is, man. Okay? But those are the times that we live in. We're dealing in a time of prophecy, man. Like the scripture I just read, it said the time is at hand. Okay, so you're supposed to start proclaiming these things, man. You're Romans 13. You gonna say something? Okay. Go ahead.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20. Knowing this verse, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
Yeah, these prophecies, they come by the will of man. Okay? Isaiah wasn't just sitting in the room and then, okay, I want to write a book, man. Okay, what's it going to be about? Okay, I'm talking about how this place Babylon's going to be destroyed. I'm speaking of a future Babylon, how that's going to be destroyed. I'm a read about how Edom's going to get destroyed. No. When you read the first chapter in the first book of Isaiah, it says the word of the Lord came up to him, man. These prophecies were divinely inspired by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's the reason why they're so accurate, man. Because the Most High already knew what was going to happen from the beginning.
Yeah, this is Psalm 68:11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it.
Yeah, the Most High gave the word. Okay, this book is inspired by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And it said, great was the company of those that published it. When you look up the word public, it means to make public. Or the word publish means to make public. And that's what the prophets did, man. The Most High commanded the prophets to write it down in the book so we can have it today, man. And that's what John did. That's why you got the book of Revelation. That's why you got the book of Ezra. He wrote it down, man. All right, said great was the company of those that published it. So those men, Isaiah, Habakkuk, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, those men are revered today, man. All right. Finish what you had.
Verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, they spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. Okay, so these words that's in the book, these are straight from the mind of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and that's the reason why they're so accurate. Where else could you find in any book that was inspired by some person, them inspired by themselves, about the coming times that are coming, man, the mark of the beast? Where you gonna find that in any other book, man? And mind you, this was written over 2,000 years ago, man. Revelation, the 13th chapter. Okay, so find me a book that old that speaks about what's going to be going on during these times, man. You can't. Okay? Why? Because the Most High gave that knowledge to the prophets, man. Okay? Hold on, let me bring this up.
So Jeremiah 1:9. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth.
Exactly. The Most High put his words in the mouths of the prophets, man. Okay, and then subsequently, let's read these books. His words are in our mouth, man. We proclaiming these words again. And we're also breaking them down. Okay? And certain visions that Jeremiah had, that Ezekiel had, that Ezra had, that John, the Revelator had, he didn't know the interpretation of it. But we're giving you the interpretation of it now in these days, man. Okay? Why? Because these prophecies have to be proclaimed. Then the Most High can send his destruction down, man. All right? Keep going.
See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Yeah, so we're throwing down this kingdom with the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You read in Thessalonians, he shall destroy him with the spirit of his mouth. Okay? We tearing this country down, this system down through the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We also building up the nation of Israel with those same words, man. Okay, sealing the elect. All right. Keep going. That was it. All right. Just bring yours up.
This 1 Corinthians 4:9. It says, "For I think that the Most High has set forth the apostles last, as it were appointed to death."
Yeah. So all these other movements that came and gone, the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, AIM, the Chicano movement, the Puerto Rican Independence movement. Okay. All these other different movements that Jake had, those things failed, man. So the last people to come on the scene are the ones that were sent by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? And this is the thing that's taking this man down, this word, man. The prophecies. Okay? This is the only thing that he can't stop. Okay? Because all those, the Black Panther Party, these different other revolutions that Jake had, the so-called white man locked those people up, man. And know that stopped those movements. Okay? But this thing is not carnal, man. This is a spiritual movement. Okay, so if the so-called white man, let's say he locks all of us up, the Most High is going to put the spirit on other men to go out there and curse your ass out, man, and proclaim these prophecies. Okay? So the so-called white man can't stop this, man. He can't stop the prophecies from going out. Okay? Just like we read earlier, the time is at hand. The Most High wants these prophecies to be proclaimed, man. Okay? He wants the prophecies to be proclaimed so he can make good on those prophecies and execute it, man. Okay? Make them come to pass, all right? And show that his word is true, okay?
For we are made a spectacle unto the world,
Yep.
and to angels.
We made a spectacle unto the world, okay? Everybody comes up by, they want to take pictures of us. You know, this is the hottest thing in whichever city you brothers are in, man. You know, we the main attraction. Okay, people want to take pictures of us, we want to try to take selfies, by the camp and shit. Read it again. Oh, let it finish this up.
All right, this First
This brother
Corinthians,
get his down. Go leave.
1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that the Most High set forth us the apostles last,
Yep.
as it were appointed to death.
Mm-hmm.
For we are made a spectacle unto the world and to angels.
And to angels, so you got angels that come up, you know, want to inquire, you know, they sitting there observing. Okay, so the angels come down and spectate as well. Keep going.
And to men.
And to men. All right. That's it. Okay. So bring out what you had in this.
They got it.
Okay, cut.
Going on the word, this is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29. Is not my word like a as a fire?
Yeah, it's not his word like a fire. That's what's bringing this place down, man. The fire of the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Well, that's the reason why that Edomite, he made that video stating how this word messed him up, man. The worst thing that happened in his life was him finding out that he was an Edomite. Okay, he got all depressed. He wouldn't eat. He didn't want to go out. He didn't want to listen to music. You know, he got burned up by the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right.
Jeremiah 23 and 29. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock to pieces.
And like a hammer that. Say it again.
Like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces.
That's right. Like the hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces, man. And this word is breaking people to pieces, man. It's breaking down Esau. It's breaking down his will to live. You don't want to live after he's come across the prophets, man, and get told that he's an Edomite. And get told about what his future is, man. Okay? So these prophecies, this is the main thing that Brother Shmeek focused on. And this is the main thing that's bringing down this kingdom, man. The words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? That's why it's so important that we proclaim these prophecies, man. That these prophecies be pushed on a heavy level, man.
It's Hebrews 4:12. It says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful.
Yep, the word of the Most High is quick and powerful. Okay, keep going.
And sharper than any two-edged sword.
Yeah, any weapon that you can make, the word is sharper than that, man. What weapon can you make that's gonna make an Edomite break down like that, man? Not even want to eat, not want to listen to music, man. just want to give up hope on life, you know? Ain't no weapon you got can do that, man. If you cut an Edomite up, he gonna recover and he gonna be walking around, yeah, I overcame this. But him thinking about his future, how he gonna be a slave, how he's in the near future his country's gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, that messes his mind up, man. You can never recover from that. That's always gonna be in the back of his head, man. All right? Then he gonna come across another group of brothers, and that condemnation is gonna be further solidified in his mind, man. He gonna go back to the way he was before somebody told him he wasn't an Edomite again, man. All right?
It says, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Yeah, this cuts your spirit. All right, keep going.
And of the joints and marrow, is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
That's right. So it cuts deep. All right. You got something else?
Is Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, because you speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them.
Yeah, and it shall devour them. The word is messing them up, man. And one of the main things these people don't want to hear are the prophecies, man. They don't want to hear about prophecy. They want to hear about the love of God. They want to hear about the love of Jesus. You know, they want you to read the scripture where it says Jesus wept. You know.
No.
Yeah, but that's what they want to hear, man. They don't want to hear about how this place is going to be destroyed. They don't want to hear about the famine that's coming to this place, the pestilence that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to send to this place, man. The earthquakes, okay? Which that prophecy is coming to pass now, man. There's multiple earthquakes going on around the world, okay? And they're increasing in magnitude, man, as the prophecy said. Okay, these people don't want to hear that.
All right, so just want to preach that.
They would got it, bring it out.
This 1 Corinthians 14:3. But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort.
Exhortation. Read it again.
Verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto the Most High, for no man understandeth him. Howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries, but he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification.
Yeah, speaketh unto men unto edification. Keep going.
And exhortation.
And exhortation. Okay. So if you don't want to go through the things that are in this, that are talked about in this book, okay, the evil that the Most High is going to send to this place, you got to stay on the path, man. That's an exhortation. Okay. Nobody wants to go through what the wicked is going to receive in these coming days, man. All right, keep going.
And comfort.
And comfort. Why? Because, bro, somebody get 1 Thessalonians 4th chapter real quick. 4:14.
All right, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse.
This is a prophecy. Okay, keep going.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 14. For if we believe that Yahweh Shai died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahweh Shai will the Most High bring with him.
Yeah, so if you die in this day, okay, Yahweh Shai is going to bring you with him on the chariots when he comes back, man. That's part of that comfort, okay? That's part of the exhortation. So regardless of what we got going on, you got to keep going, keep pushing, man. Because regardless of if you die, you're still going to receive the reward, okay? That's part of the exhortation and part of the comfort. We're not doing this thing for nothing, man, okay? And the prophecies help comfort us in that fact, man. Keep going.
Yep, verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep.
Keep going.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach shall rise first.
Yeah, so those men that died in this truth, they're going to rise first. Okay, that's comforting to know, man. So if you die, you become a martyr, you still going to receive that reward, man. The Most High is still going to have favor on you. Okay? So if you get in a situation you're going to become a martyr, don't lose hope. Oh, man, I'm about to die. No, the prophecy says that you're going to get risen up first, man. All right, keep going.
Verse 17 says, Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Keep going.
Wherefore, comfort one another with these words.
Comfort one another with these words. Okay? And that was a prophecy that Paul spoke. All right? So that just clarified that scripture. You go back to it.
1 Corinthians 14:3. But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification.
To edification, which edify means to build up. All right? Keep going.
And exhortation.
And exhortation. Continue. Keep going.
And comfort.
And comfort. These prophecies comfort you, man. You can get exhortation from the prophecies, and you can also get edification from the prophecies, man. It helps build you up. All right? Because you read about the destruction and the different things that's going to go on down here. So what's the next question that you ask? Well, how can I escape these things? Okay, well, we go to the prophecy. What does the prophecy say? Those men that do the works and have the faith, they're going to be spared from that. Okay, so I gotta execute that, man. I gotta start doing the works, and I gotta believe. All right, keep going.
He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church. I would that ye all spake with tongues, but rather that ye prophesy.
Yeah, prophecy is the main thing. All right, keep going.
For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying.
Done. That's it. Yeah. You got something?
Revelation 19:10 says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
Yeah, the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So if Yahushua is dealing with you, you're going to be able to prophesy. You're going to be able to break down these prophecies, man. If you don't have the spirit, then you won't be able to prophesy, man. Read again.
Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua.
Keep going.
Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
That's right. The testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. That's the most coveted gift you're supposed to want, man. Or the gift you're supposed to covet after the most. Above speaking tongues, speaking in tongues, you should want to be able to prophesy, man. So you can edify, you can comfort, and you can exhort the brothers, man.
I can say this too, in Revelation 12:11, so they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. All right, and the word of the testimony, you know, as it just said, is the spirit of prophecy.
Yep.
So that's how you overcome, you know, this beast and this wicked ass kingdom. By the blood of the Lamb and by, you know, speaking prophecy.
Yeah, one of the other prophecies says, Jeremiah 30:7, Jacob's trouble, but he's going to be saved out of it. Okay, so how's he going to be saved? By Yahushua. He comes back. Having that cover. Okay, bring it up.
Yeah, this second Esdras 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Yeah, so that's the ticket to getting out of here. Okay. Read it again.
Fine. I'm gonna just.
So it's not just a one-sided thing. Both sides speak. So destruction. You know, everybody gonna die. Nah, there's a way to get out of this, man. Okay. Keep going.
Come on. I'm gonna just get to the point. Second Esdras 9:7. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
And that's how you're going to escape this thing, okay? By the works and by the faith that you have, man. All right?
It's 1 Timothy 4:14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
That's right.
Yeah, so it said in the 14th verse, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, right? Which that's what the Spirit is going into, man. Because that's prophecy. That the word, that the Spirit was going to come upon men in the last days. What did it say in St. John the 6th chapter? If any man come to me, it has to be by the Father, and I'll raise him up at the last day. So that's a prophecy, man. So the gift that you got was by prophecy, and it came by the laying on of the hands of the presbytery, which that means body of elders. And then by you continuing in these things, like the brother just read, you're going to be saved by your faith and your works. By you continuing on in the work, which you're going to do that because you have the spirit of faith. That's how you and them that hear you are going to be delivered, man.
St. John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
You read again?
This is St. John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
And how do you find out if you're an Israelite or not? Through prophecy, man. You know? Going through Genesis the 49th chapter, Deuteronomy the 33rd chapter. Okay, then other scriptures that's in there. Okay, so you read that, okay, well, damn, you know, I'm not an Israelite, but you go through the prophecies, okay, the elders broke down Genesis 49, Deuteronomy 33. That comforted you, man. Okay, well, I'm from this tribe, I'm from that tribe, I can gain salvation, man. Now what else do I have to do? I know I'm an Israelite. There's a chance for me to be saved. Now what else do I have to do? Keep going.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Yep.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
That's right. Who else got something?
I had something to back it up on the things written aforetime.
Okay.
It's Romans 15:4. But whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Okay. And our hope is in the prophecies.
Yeah.
That the prophecies are coming to pass. Our hope is that Yahweh Shai is going to return and save us out of this coming destruction. You know, because we know the destruction is coming, which is part of the prophecy. But our hope is that we're saved out of it, man. Keep going on.
It says, but whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Yeah, what was written aforetime. Okay, you got the history in there, you got the laws, but you also have the prophecies that's in there, man. Okay? Those things are written for our learning. All right, keep going.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
That we through patience, okay, you got to suffer these things that have come upon us. It says patience and comfort of the scriptures, okay, like the brother's going into about the comfort and the hope, is that we're going to be saved from these things, man. Okay, as long as we do what we're supposed to do, the Most High is going to uphold his end of the bargain. Okay? Go.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Yep. That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. If we didn't have the prophecies, we'd be through, man. Yeah, what would we be doing? You just read, okay, this place is going to be destroyed. That's it. Okay, well, I can't make it up out of here. All right, I might as well just go all out, be a demon, man. You know, I'm gonna die anyway. That's the mind state a lot of these niggas have, man. I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna just be a demon.
Rampage spirit.
Yep. Yeah. Take as many people out as you can. Just be the ultimate demon. You know, get other people to join unto your philosophy.
That's
all right. But that hope comes from the prophecies, man. The part of us being able to attain salvation. Okay. And since we have hope in that, we work towards that to the best of our ability, man. Okay.
This is Romans 8:24. For we are saved by hope.
That's right. Yeah, saved by hope, man. That's what's gonna get us up out of here. That's hoping that Yahweh Shai comes back and delivers us, man. Okay. If we're expecting that to happen, that means we're gonna be on that path to try to obtain that salvation, man. Okay.
Let me jump to 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High.
That's right. So we're waiting for the Most High to send his son back down here so we can be translated, get those different bodies, and be able to serve him perfectly, man. All right? Keep going. That's our hope, okay? That's really all we got, man.
Yeah.
We don't got nothing else outside of that. What do you have in this world outside of that hope that we're going to get delivered, man? You stay here long enough, I ain't even gonna go into it, man.
For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope.
God. So the Most High put us through this for a reason, man. Okay, once we can learn what the difference between good and evil, and also so in these last days we can hope for the salvation, man.
He put us through it because of prophecy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Lord, he's bound to his word. Yeah. That's why all these prophecies are coming to pass. It seems like to a natural man that these prophecies are carrying, because they're looking at it through a natural standpoint, through a carnal standpoint. If you're looking at it spiritually, you'll see that the Lord, he's bound by his words. So certain things have to happen in order for this to take place. You can't get to the end of the movie if you don't have the beginning and the middle all played out, you know, so to speak. That's what the prophecies are happening. That's what the prophecies are doing right now as we speak. That's why all the camps, all the brothers are so charged up, man. Because this is what we do. This is what our whole life is predicated on, is these prophecies. And that's how we're gonna get out of here. That's our salvation. That's how we're gonna get the spiritual power.
Yep.
We're gonna get the eternal life. Our Savior's gonna come back, and we're gonna be out of this hellhole, man. So it's all about the prophecy.
2 Ezra 4:37, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times.
Yeah, by measure, by number. How does that measure? Is by this word, right? The word measures the times that we're in. We know exactly what time we're in according to the scriptures, according to the prophecies. Right? It says that it should be a falling away. Right? That happened. All right? It said that it should be scoffers in the last days. This is happening right now. It should be men crept in unawares. Okay? And the Lord, he's raising up the tabernacles of David, the ruins. That's happening right now. Right? The signs of the signs and wonders of heaven. So we're nowhere in the last time. Go ahead.
And he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled.
He do not move or so certain things are not going to happen until these prophecies come to pass. Yep. All right, that's why we're always, man, bring this chip, man. Bring this chip, Esau. All right, come in with the chip, the mark of the beast, the blockchain, because we know, man, that's like one of the last prophecies. And then everything from there is just going to start speeding up. And then that's how you measure the times. All right, through the measuring stick being the scriptures, the proper breakdown of the scriptures.
Yeah, and seeing the prophecies come to pass. Okay, in proper order. There's certain things that have to take place, like the scripture just said here. You know.
Yeah, you know, because going into prophecy, and this is prophecy. When you see the brothers on the campus, this is a prophecy that's coming to pass right now, and it's right here in the scripture, man. Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's what you see happening. That's why when you see, you know, when you're out here in the camps, you're out on the highways and byways, and you're preaching, and these people come across us, and they hear the words that we're speaking, they see the signs and everything, they get bugged the fuck out, man. You can see their faces get all confused. You can see them get terrified. You can see them swallow down golf balls of spit, man, because they're feeling that terror of the Lord through the power of the scriptures, man.
And the spirits inside of them are rousing up.
Yeah, I got a precept on what the brother about Ezra. This is Daniel 9:1. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem.
Yeah. And you, according to the prophecy, yeah. Right? You looked into the books and you said, okay, well, this is the fulfillment of that. Matter of fact, since you brought that out, because there's certain things that were brought out that men didn't understand at the time, but men after them understood according to prophecy. This is 2 Ezra chapter 12, verse 9. For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Yep. But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee. Yeah, so there's certain things that happen aforetime that, like Daniel, for instance, he get the vision. It said his cogitations, were moved, meaning his mind was kind of messed up. He got sick, and he wasn't able to break it down. Why? Because the vision was yet for an appointed time to break it down. And this is a prime example. I'm gonna read it again. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. You know, this is talking about the so-called white man, the Roman Empire. But it was not expounded unto him. Yes, there's certain things which are written, and people will be like, well, damn, so just in the last 30 years now, you guys are breaking it down. Well, yeah, this is a prime example of that. Okay, because the prophecy say in St. John that we were going to get risen up at the last day. Well, the brother brought out after 3.5 years, that symbolizes that 350 years. Okay, and then in the late 1960s, early 1970s, that's when our people started waking up to who they were as a whole. Then. And so now things can be expounded on, whereas before they couldn't be properly expounded on. They tell you that in the book of Isaiah, that it was pretty much sealed. Yep. Okay. All right, but the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel, but it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee. Yes, so there's a lot of things that were written before time that couldn't be broken down because it wasn't the appointed time for the prophecy to be broken down. But now it's the time for the prophecy to be broken down. Okay, because we're in the time of all these prophecies being fulfilled. So now it's a lot clearer. It's a lot clearer because we're in that time. So it's easy for us to see what's going on in the news and say, oh, look, well, that's just like the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, the 49th chapter. Or that's the book of Revelation, the 16th chapter. Okay?
Yeah. This 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, that's the prophets. Because the prophets are the spirit, they're the mouth of the Heavenly Father. Okay? We have the spirit of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Go ahead. Matter of fact, let me now hold. Yeah, go ahead and hold that. And I'm gonna get Hosea. I was holding this. Hosea chapter 6. Bear with me. Yep, Hosea chapter 6, verse 5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. See? So yeah, that's what we're set up to do. We're set up to hew you. Okay? Alright, we're set up by the Heavenly Father. This is what he said. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. See? So the words that we speak are the words of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, and that's why these people are getting slain. Okay, this applies to first and foremost. This applies to Israel. Yeah, all of the judgments that are written in accordance to what happened to us now applies to these so-called white people pertaining to Deuteronomy the 30th chapter. Okay, go ahead, brother.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, again from the top. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yeah, the wicked is the so-called white man. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Malachi the 1st chapter. Okay, the borders of wickedness is everywhere Edom is. Okay, go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, and that's happening right now. Right now, as we speak, this is what's happening. Like the brother Benat's like sent out the video, about the dude he couldn't eat, sleep. It's like a damn love song, man. Shit. And these had some R&B songs. I can't eat, I can't sleep. It was worse than that. All right, go ahead, brother.
And shall destroy it with the brightness of his coming.
Yeah, because what he's doing, and the Lord always does that. He always sends out prophets first to declare the downfall of society, and then he brings physical judgment upon it. Okay, and it's nothing new. It's nothing new right now. That's why we know that the destruction is so close. And because what the Lord's doing is he's having the word increase, and what's happening? The judgments are intensifying as well, man. It ain't like, okay, he just had us out here and they removed us and then the destruction came. Nah, he's bringing the destruction while the word continually goes out, man. So it's beautiful. Okay.
I got precept. This Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Yeah, and what things? Read up a little bit. We'll start at like 25.
So this is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon.
Oh man, is there not a sign of the moon coming on the 31st? Okay.
But you see the tide today on the bay?
I see it.
Man, the tide was super way back. There's nothing but mud everywhere. So the moon's getting close.
Yeah, and the water is, I was at Ocean Beach earlier in the week, man. The water is roaring, okay? It's not typical of this time, but that's because of, the moon, okay?
And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations.
And upon the earth, distress of nations. And all these nations are in turmoil. Okay, they're distressed. Why? Because of the policies of the so-called white man. Okay, and this is a worldwide phenomenon. All right, go ahead, brother.
With perplexity, the sea and the waves roar.
Yeah, which is twofold.
Yeah.
All right, literally, and also sea and waves representing the multitudes of people. That's pertaining to Revelation, the 17th chapter. Okay, and these nations are roaring. And the water is roaring, man. That's why there's floods all over the damn place. Okay, there was a tsunami warning.
Yeah.
Okay. And tsunamis warning as well. They're coming too, man. All right, go ahead, brother. Yeah, the next earthquake, because it ain't just gonna be an earthquake. It's gonna cause tsunamis. It's gonna be all out hell, just like what happened. What was that in Indonesia? I want to say.
Yeah, Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah. That was it, man. And that was a horrible judgment too, man.
It's Thailand.
That was Thailand. That wasn't Thailand. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Got jacked up.
East Africa too.
Yeah.
It's a massive tsunami.
Yeah, them animals they knew too. Them animals they fled to the mountains about 40-45 minutes before.
Huh. That water from the Most High, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
just like
they're more in tune spiritually with things that are going on in the earth.
That's why Job said, "Learn the ways of the animals."
Yep.
So
even the ass with Balaam, seen the angel tried to
Get out the way.
move up out of here.
Yeah, because in this society, you're reduced to worse than a beast.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what separates us. Now, when I say us, so we're talking about the Israelite man, is the wisdom of the Heavenly Father. That's been removed for the majority of our people. So they don't understand the discernment. Like we can see when something's coming down the pipeline, you know. But that's why we got our garments on prophesying, because we know what's about to happen, and we're looking for protection. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Men's hearts failing them for fear.
Yeah, men's hearts failing them for fear, meaning people are gonna have strokes, heart attacks. Okay. Go ahead.
And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
Yeah, and that's why they're gonna have strokes and heart attacks, because of the things which are coming on the earth. Okay, and they're already coming on the earth. People are catching pure hell. Oh, like they just had a so-called terrorist attack in Afghanistan. Over 150 people died. Yeah, here it is. You eating camel meat, turning up. Okay, then you just get bombed the hell back, man. That's what's happening. And this is happening all around the world. Okay, this isn't an anomaly in just one country, man. You go to Yemen. Okay, you can go to the land of Ham, which in the land of Ham, they're attacking UN peacekeeping troops now. See? So there's distressing nations. Okay, there are people that are trying to run from fire out the sky.
Complexity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bewilderment. It's so heavy now that people they have to say, okay, there's something spiritual about this. You know? So that's why now there's knowledge is being increasing. More people are acknowledging the prophets. More people are coming up inquiring.
Yeah, that's why you got Jason Hayes, you know, like he's doing those videos, so-called Christian videos. People are realizing, okay, there's some. Oh, that's the spirit. I was talking to the Elder Wamba about that. We were talking, and I said, look, man, you go to any of these videos, like it's about wickedness. People on the comment board are like, oh man, Jesus is coming back soon. Oh yeah, I see that all the time. Oh man, we're at the end of the world, man. We need Jesus, you know. Which they don't know what the hell they're saying really, you know. They have an idea, they don't understand fully what they're saying, but they have an idea that we're at the end of times, okay? Because there's all types of complexity. And the only thing that people can associate it with is that a higher power is about to make a judgment because of the wickedness, okay? All right, go ahead, brother.
And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Yeah, the powers of heaven is talking about the so-called white man, okay? He's a power, this is his heaven. This is his earth, man. Okay, and look what he's done to it. You know, this is his rulership on the earth. Okay, and the Lord is going to remind them that, look, you're just placed in front of in charge of this earth temporarily. Okay, and now I'm going to create a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay, go ahead, brother.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
Wow, that's cold, man, because the Lord is going to come at the height of confusion, man. Okay, everybody's already going to be catching pure hell, then the Lord's just going to come with the fathership, just shut everything down. Well, over in Detroit, that's how you know it was a chariot, because they reported that there was all types of electric outages in the area. And then when you watch that show, what is that, UFO Hunters, they show you that when the chariots come by, it shuts down the so-called white man's technology, you know? So that's how you know through the spirit that had to have been a chariot. Some people are saying, well, that was probably Project Blue Beam. I believe that was a chariot of Israel. Okay.
The Blue Beam won't do that. The chariots, they actually like emit a certain form of electromagnetic energy.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Yeah, so that's when you're supposed to regain that enthusiasm, okay? Because, you know, society beats you down, all right? Makes you want to give up at times, all right? Because it's so wicked. You know, you want to, like Jeremiah, you want to flee into the wilderness. You just want to get out of here. But now is the time for you to lift up your head, because your redemption draweth nigh. Now, how do we know that? By biblical prophecy. By the biblical prophecy coming to pass, man. Got some more, brother?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it? Okay, well, that's fitting, you know, to end off on. All right, so we're going to wrap up. Hopefully it was edifying. Call halal. And death to America.
Death to America.
Death to the nigga.
Death to the nigga.